Welcome to The Author Show, where we feature new authors and books, from fiction to self-help and everything in between. You'll find it all at theauthorshow.com. That's theauthorshow.com. And now let the show begin.
Welcome to The Author Show. I'm Danielle Hampson, and my guest today is a German coach and personal development expert who lives in Barcelona, Spain, and he makes it his mission to give people the resources and the tools that will help them create the life that they want. His name is Marc Reklau, and Marc knows and understands that although many want to change things in their lives, few are in fact doing anything about it. And having extensively researched, studied, and applied the principles and secrets of success and happiness, Marc knows very well that by installing certain new habits, we can indeed create success and happiness in our lives. His book, 30 Days, Change Your Habits, Change Your Life, is one of the tools we all need to add to our bag of tricks, so to speak, on our path to making our lives better. Welcome to the show, Marc.
Hello, thanks for having me, Danielle.
Marc, you went from jobless after being fired from your job to Amazon bestseller with over 100,000 downloads since April of 2015, and you have also been translated in Spanish, in German, and in Korea. How do you explain this success? What do you think caused it?
Well, there are two things. First of all, I think the basis of my success was that I was giving away a lot of copies for free. I got on the BookBub newsletter, and then in one day I had 40,000 free downloads. So these free downloads, when the book went back to paid on Amazon, translated in many sales. Because the free downloads bring you high up in the rankings, in the bestseller rankings.
Right.
And then when the book goes back to paid, you start selling quite a lot of books. In the beginning, I sold like 200 a day, then 100, and then goes down a little bit. And I did this 3 times. So in total, I have more than 120,000 downloads and more than 17,000 ebooks sold, ebooks and paperback. So I'm actually close to 18,000 now. The second thing, what I notice more and more, is I think I just got a tone. I think the book speaks to people, because no matter if my readers write to me from India or from Germany or from the US or from Latin America, they all say the same. They say, oh, it's so easily written, it's easily understandable, and it's like a good friend talking to you. And I Googled myself in Korea too, because of course Korea, I don't understand the Korean, the language. So I saw there were people talking about me on Twitter and everything, so I translated it with Google, and they were saying the same things. So it seemed to have hit a tone, an international tone.
Yeah. Well, obviously that is a strategy that worked very, very well for you. The title of a book is also a very important part of it. Why did you choose this particular title?
That's a fun story, because I actually turned in the manuscript of my book without a title yet. So I finished the book, and then I knew that I have 2 weeks to find a title. I sent the book to the editor, to a freelance editor, and then I went on a vacation to Ibiza, the island in Spain. And then on the last day of my vacation, which was also Sunday, I remember it because it was the day also when Germany won the Soccer World Cup.
You guys remember your soccer all the time, don't you?
Yeah. So, and I think the bottle of white wine that I had with my friend also did his part on the inspiration. But then I suddenly thought, wow, 30 days. 30 days. Okay, 30 days is because people say you need 21 to 30 days to install a habit. Now, there are even people say it takes 66. So it's different. It differs also of the person and of the habit. If you want to install the habit of drinking a glass of water every morning after getting up, that's easier. I don't think you need 21 days for that.
Right.
If you want to go out running every morning, that might take 66 days to really install it. So and then I had this title, 30 days, and then I needed the subtitle, and I had already writing coaches always tell you write 20 titles and 20 subtitles and then think about it. So I had my list with my 20 titles and subtitles. So I looked up there, and then I said, okay, 30 days, change your habits, change your life. Sounds good. And I went with it. And it was really, I have to say, it was a lot of inspiration, because like 2 years ago when I had the book about habits out, there was not so many books about habits. I mean, there was Stephen Covey with the 7 habits of highly effective people, but not much else was out there. So afterwards, what was happening that then Gretchen Rubin, she is a New York Times bestselling author who wrote about happiness. She came out like half a year later with a book about habits. Now, just recently, Tim Ferriss has released a book about habits. And for me, I'm happy about that because usually people who buy books about anything, about time management or habits or whatever, they don't just buy one book.
Right.
They usually buy 3 to 5 or 10 books. So as these people now have also habits books, maybe if people search habits, I show up too. So see if I can get my share out of it too.
Yeah, well, that's a good plan too. And you just reaffirmed the suspicion that I always had about inspiration. You do find it in a good bottle of wine.
You do, but also you have to work. I mean, because I don't want to narrow it down on the bottle of wine. It was because that's it. That's also something I'm studying, and because many people say I need inspiration to work. And then they never start.
Right.
And sometimes you have to start working and then inspiration comes, the eureka. Oftentimes it comes when you worked hard for a time and then you relax. And then comes the inspiration. And for me, that was Ibiza, obviously. When I was there relaxing on a vacation, then the inspiration came.
Right.
But the white wine also did its part.
Yeah, let's keep the wine in there. Now, you mentioned several authors, and indeed there are many books available on the topic of trying to improve our lives. So how different is your book, 30 Days? What makes it really stand out compared to others?
First of all, it's different because I applied most of the habits, or actually all of them, because when I was jobless, I had coaching training. So I'm a life coach, an executive coach, and I had a coaching training already, and then I was fired from my job. And I knew there was a lot of exercises and stuff that you can do. And if you really do it over a period of time, it works. Thing is that people don't do it. So when I was jobless, I had the time. I said, so now I'm going to try this. I'm going to try these habits. I'm going to write down 3 things I'm grateful for every day. I'm going to write down my goals and try to reach them. And then out of this dynamic, there came the idea, write a book. And then the book came out and the book became successful. And then I could say, wow, yeah, these habits really work. Another thing that is different is I think I don't overpromise like many other self-help authors do, like get rich in 7 days, change your life in 3 days. I mentioned very much this stuff works, but you have to work too.
Right.
Yeah. We talk about visualizing, we talk about writing down goals, but it's not enough to do it once or 5 days or to sit on your couch and say, okay, now I visualize my dream life and then suddenly it will happen. No, you visualize, it's part of the work, but you also have to work a lot.
Now, your chapters address many things such as, for example, self-discipline and commitment, choices and decisions, as well as attitude, taking responsibility. Now, I love quotes, and addressing this, you quote Sigmund Freud, quote, most people do not really want freedom because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibilities, end of quote. Let's go to know yourself. Do most people know themselves really well?
I think, Danielle, that's the key of everything. And I think most people don't know themselves really well. But the change starts with knowing yourself really well. To most of us, it happens when we are 40, 50 in the midlife crisis. Then it's the first time we stop and think, what do we really want to do? But I want to motivate people to take this break or to earlier. I have a class at a business school in Barcelona with students, bachelor students, 19, 20 years old, and I'm trying to convince them already to ask themselves these questions now, to look into themselves, to reflect, because this is really the start of everything. If you want to improve your life, I think first of all you have to do the break, the pause, look inside yourself and start answering the questions that you normally don't answer because they are too uncomfortable. Like what do I really, really, really want to do? What would I do if money was not an object? What would I do if I had all the time and all the money in the world? Those are easy questions. they're actually easy to answer, but you need to sit down and you need to take the courage to answer them. And most of the time we don't do it. I haven't done it. I know these questions since I was 16, 17 years old. I started answering them when I was 40, 41. When I started answering them, everything changed.
And of course, discipline comes into play as well. So what about discipline? Do I need self-discipline in order to do the exercising in your book and understand the benefits?
You need a little discipline, but not as much as we usually think. Because if we're starting a new year and we talk about New Year's resolutions, there we always want to do it with discipline, and 80% fail before January ends.
Yeah, actually before January the 2nd.
Exactly. On the other hand, you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you take a shower. You don't need motivation for that because these are habits. So what we want to do is to convert everything we can, as much as we can, into habits. If you want to run in the morning, you have to develop the habit of it. Most of the time, you don't have the self-discipline to say, okay, I will walk 4 times 45 minutes. I will run every day. There are people who have the self-discipline. I didn't have it. So I had to start small. I said, okay, I will start 2 times 20 minutes per week. And then it works. So you need a little bit of self-discipline in the beginning, but afterwards, as you turn it into a habit, it gets automatic, like brushing your teeth, and that's the fun thing.
Okay, well, since you're talking about a habit, one benefit, of course, would be to get rid of the bad habit. So how do I do that?
Okay, there are like 2 possibilities. First, just stop it like cold turkey, but that's very difficult. So the second, what I usually do is I substitute the bad habit by a good habit. So I was really like nearly addicted to Coca-Cola, and I wanted to quit it because we know that it's not the healthiest, and I just couldn't do it. So what I did do, I substituted by a strange mix that I made, which was water, lemon, and honey, because I need sugar. I was a sugar addict. So every time when I wanted to have a Coca-Cola, I made myself this sugary drink, and then after a week, I didn't want Coca-Cola anymore. So that's like one example how you substitute a bad habit. Also, what you can do is the bad habit, when you analyze it, make it as difficult as possible to do it. I give you an example now with smoke. Although smoking is a habit very difficult to get rid of. For an example, so you would put the cigarette, let's say, instead of next to you in the living room, you would put it as far away as you can, in the 2nd floor somewhere, so that you need at least a minute to get it. Because then sometimes what we do is we always want to have like the shortest way possible. And if the cigarette is too far away, maybe we find something else, you know?
Right, yeah.
And with good habits, it's the same. So if you want to eat, for example, fruit instead of junk food, prepare the fruit already, because that's something we want a snack. We go to the fridge, and if there's already like that hot dogs and everything is already there, we take the hot dogs, because it's too much work for us in that moment to cut the vegetables and to peel the fruit. So it's also a good trick, just have the fruit ready, peel.
Yeah, because we choose a convenience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to put the good habit in the convenience and the bad habit as far away as possible from convenience.
So can I really become a happier person and live a better life if I develop the 90-some habits that are in your book?
I have good news for you, Danielle. You don't even have to develop 90. I think I always say to my clients or to my readers, 2 or 3. If you choose 2 or 3 of those 90, because more, you might already get overwhelmed, and then again, we shut down. So 2 or 3 of the habits, do them for a month or for 2 months, and you will see that things change. Most of us don't do them. The people who do them, they can tell you it's getting better. And for example, I would recommend you, I don't know if you're already doing it, write 3 things that you are grateful for every day before falling asleep. Do that for a month. Yeah. So, and feel the gratitude, you know, and it can be small stuff. It can be a coffee that you had with a friend, or walk on a sunny day. So at the evening, you say, I'm grateful for this coffee I have, and you feel it really. You feel the gratitude, right. You feel the joy. And do that for a month, and it's scientifically proven that changes something in your brain, that it rewires your brain to focus more on the positive things in life, to see more opportunities, and that already makes you happier.
Yeah, and I agree also with the changing 3 habits at a time. Also, when you become very successful with those, you see the result with those. That also stimulates you to continue to move forward with additional habits to change.
Exactly. And normally after a month, they are habits.
Right.
Those 3 things that you choose, they go automatically. Because it's done like brushing teeth. You don't have to ask yourself anymore. You will just,
It's
in the
automatic.
evening, you go to your notebook, you write your 3 things, and that's it. When you start, you think, okay, don't forget, you have the notebook next to your bed, and maybe the first time you forget it or something. When it's a habit, you don't forget it anymore. Then
Right.
after a month or after 6 weeks, you can go to the next 3 habits.
Yeah.
And it's really, I can tell you, it has changed all my life, and I will never want to go back. It's like I'm keep on doing it, adding more habit, and it's nice.
Yeah. Now, Mark, other than, of course, selling your book, what do you hope to accomplish with it?
Before writing the book, when I was in the creative phase, here in Spain, since the financial crisis, we have, I think when I wrote the book, we had like 6 million jobless. I mean, Spain is just like 25% of the US. So imagine how many jobless people that are. And everybody was like, just develop, like depending on if I win the lottery or if I have a lucky break and everything. And I said, guys, you can really take your life into your own hands. And if you do some of that stuff, you start creating opportunities. So it's written, what I want to do is like really inspire people and motivate people to give it a shot, to do the exercise, some of the exercises for a month or 2 and see what it brings. Because for me, it has done incredible things also for my clients, because I put my coaching clients on habits, friends of mine who just also started it because you're an example at the end. They see it's not just talking. I think the thing is I'm doing the habits and you can notice it, you
Right.
notice it, and then you inspire by example, not by only talking. And that's probably also one of the things. I just want to be example and say, look, this works. And I mean, I have come from a very low down. I have been jobless, and now I'm an Amazon bestseller. I'm a speaker. I'm a coach. I'm on television. I'm on your radio show. Fabulous. If somebody would have told me that 3 years ago, I wouldn't have believed it. And if I would have told somebody, they would have put me in a hospital probably. So
Well, I don't think that they would have gone that far, but you never know. But
Yeah, you never know.
obviously, it's also very good. It's always a very good thing to inspire others by example. And you are a prime example. You kind of what we talk about. You walk the talk. Where can readers find out more about you and about your work? And where, of course, most importantly, where can they purchase your book?
Okay, so on my webpage, I have 2 web pages. One is marcreklau.com, like my name. And the other one is goodhabitsacademy.com. That's where there's some information. On marcreklau.com, they can also even download some free coaching worksheets for starters. And my book is on Amazon. I'm only on Amazon because for me, also part of my success is really I'm very grateful to the people of Amazon. Without them, that they gave me the possibility to reach so many readers, because imagine that I still get rejected by publishers. So I'm very happy that I got by self-publishing this opportunity to get in front of people and influence and help many people to change their life.
Now, would you spell your first and last name, please, for your website?
Yes, that's Marc, M-A-R-C, Reklau, R-E-K-L-A-U, all one word, .com.
marcreklau.com. Mark, thank you for spending some time with us today. When you release your next book, assuming there will be another one, of course, would you like to come back?
Of course, and I'm actually already working on it. It will be about happiness again. It will be with a lot of scientific proof for the doubters, because science has gone a long, long, long way in the last 10, 15 years. There are some amazing experiments looking at how our beliefs create our reality, what focus does. And this is actually my class that I'm teaching at the Geneva Business School in Barcelona is the basis for it. So I will just take all the material I'm teaching the students and put it in a book. So it's a little bit more scientific.
Okay, well, you will look forward to that one as well. Well, thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you very much, Danielle.
Most of us know the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting changes. Well, change won't happen if you don't start somewhere. And if you are one of the many out there who tends to procrastinate with tasks that appear a bit much to handle, this reader's review can give you the boost needed to use Mark's book to help you make the changes you so much desire. Here's the review. I can easily follow the steps in this book. Starting at page 1, I can do the easy exercises and absolutely change my thinking. This is not positive thinking or affirmations. although those are beneficial too. This is make a change. Small shifts, but powerful. Day by day, I have been making these changes, and my life has indeed been following along. Because I am the one making the changes, and life is reflecting those changes in me, I automatically feel empowered. I no longer have to wait for life to change so I can feel empowered. I am making it happen. This book has reawakened the power within me. Thank you, Marc, for a powerful, simple book. That is also a very powerful review, by the way. This is Danielle Hampson concluding another edition of The Author Show. Please share this interview with your friends and your family so that they too may have the opportunity to discover our guest and his work. And why not help spread the word on social media as well? Please join us again next time for an exciting new author and book on The Author Show.
Thanks for listening to The Author Show. Find out more about authors and their work at theauthorshow.com. theauthorshow.com. Tune in next time to another great author on The Author Show.